I was. It's terrible over on TikTok.
It's a
Not
great
doing.
video. It's a great
Not-
video.
Not good over on TikTok over here.
Yeah.
They can't hear the music. They can't hear nothing.
You shouldn't skip chest day. I'll tell you that.
I probably shouldn't do that.
Probably shouldn't. What's up, boy?
What's up, my guy?
How you feeling, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? Long time no talk.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Last time we talked, there was the NBA and Stanley Cup Finals were on Game 3.
Yeah. It hasn't been that long, but it's been a while.
It's been a minute. I feel like your beard has a little bit more gray, a little bit of stress through the NBA Finals there, sir.
Not much.
You didn't stress a little bit?
No, not to be completely honest. Even after Game 3, or Game 3
Well,
or Game 2.
Game 2 when the Heat
Yeah,
won.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, but could have been better.
Yeah. No, and it was just like, we don't need to rehash that game.
I mean, we don't have to talk about it at all. We can completely skip all of it. It's fine.
No, it's just like after that Game 2, series got tied up 1-1. Everything that could have gone wrong for the Nuggets did, and it seemed like the Heat kind of had. I wouldn't say they had a phenomenal game by any means, but they played a Heat playoff game. They played a very, very average game. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
for
sure.
not an average game, but they played a Heat game, and they only took the game by 3. They were never pulled away, anything like that. The Nuggets, they were just top to bottom, they're just a better team. And Spoelstra got a win. The boys got a win for you guys, but I really thought it was going to end up going a little bit more.
Yeah.
But hey, hats off to I want to say hats off to Bam. He had a absolutely hell of a series.
Duncan Robinson as well.
Yeah. A lot of other players too.
Those two were the most consistent. Everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy had his moments, but 2 trademark Himmy buckets right before the finals, and legitimately every time he drove to the basket, he wasn't looking for a shot. He was looking to pass it, and I get he said he's more of a facilitator, but he should have trademarked honestly Himmy suckets, because it was bad.
Hey, I've been hearing the same sentiment from every team throughout the playoffs, about a player or their team against the Nuggets. Someone so-and-so played bad, so-and-so wasn't themselves, whatever it may be. That's what the Nuggets do, man. The Nuggets play great defense. They make teams play poorly against them. They did the entire playoffs, and they continued to do it through the finals.
I don't know if I would say they played better defense on Jimmy, because Jimmy hasn't been good since Game 2 of the Celtics series. The Duncan Robinsons, Caleb Martins.
Right. Well, his situation might go a little bit deeper. But as a whole, the Nuggets make teams play their worst game against them. Michael Malone is a good coach. He adjusts well. He gets the right players matched up against the right guys, and they did it all season. They were the 1 seed all season for a reason. They mopped the floor with most teams throughout the playoffs, and it was a special year. from start to finish. It was special, man. And I'm super
Yes.
excited to finish the celebration with the Nuggets tomorrow at the parade tomorrow morning.
Uh, it also helps when you have the best player. Uh, Two-time MVP, arguably should have been three straight, and then Finals MVP. Um, but definitely, I just
And
want to say this about the Nuggets. The Nuggets are, or maybe it's just Jokic. Jokic is like the most boring player to watch if you're not a Nuggets fan. Like, and what was that game? Which game did he drop 40? Was that game one or game three?
it was game two. It was the game we lost. We only
Oh,
lost games. He dropped 40.
oh, you're right. You're correct. You're correct. Okay, so the one game, yeah, I guess that was game two. When he dropped 40, and I just remember he had like, or maybe it was game three, one of the games where he didn't take any shots basically to the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden he has 35 points, and he's like, when the hell did he get 35 points?
Yeah, it's game.
And
I think that was game three.
he has the ugliest shot in the world. I shoot. I have better form than him. He makes more than me, but I have better form.
Bro, it is so beautiful to watch that man play basketball.
And
He plays
it,
basketball.
you're right. You're right. But tell me, how does when he shoots threes, they're nothing but net, but everything else hits rim and rolls in. Everything else
Bro, no matter
hits
where it
rim
hits
and
on the
rolls
rim,
in,
it can hit bottom lip of the rim.
and it will
And
roll in.
somehow it'll bounce around to the top and in. He just has the, the best touch that I've ever seen, personally. I mean, there's other guys with great touch.
You're
I may,
saying
maybe
he's
I might be exaggerating, of course, but he has
uh,
phenomenal touch on the ball. No matter where he is, hook shot, floater, it don't matter. Like I would be really curious to know. Probably could look it up. What his like shooting percentage is in like, well, I don't know what you would call that area. Within 5 feet of the net.
the paint.
I mean, is that just the? I mean, sure. I would like to know what his like layup and or like hook shot percentage is. That's got to be extremely high.
Let's go. Got the first dub.
Hey, at least, hey, he got a dub. You got a dub. It's life, man.
Yeah. You're gonna win four straight. Also,
No,
that's terrible. We didn't even mention like I'm James, and next to me is Jimmy, and we're missing Joe, who is probably
who's
sleeping.
Joe?
This is the Jim. This is the fraud pod.
Do this real quick. There we are.
Oh,
There we are.
so
We got James and James.
actually, I actually have something pretty funny to do. I hopefully you catch on with me. We're gonna do 5 seconds of Joe.
I think that was properly silent. We switched sides.
It was so awkward.
I really hope Joe watches.
That was so awkward. Um, but also Jokic had like the best playoffs ever, led in points, rebounds, and assists for the entirety of the playoffs. But
Yeah, I
you know
think
what he didn't do? He did not average a triple double against the Heat. He only got two triple doubles in the series. That's
he averaged
probably
triple
why
double
all
in the playoffs.
he. What did he actually though?
I'm,
Because he
I'm
only
pretty
had
sure he
he
did. I'll
only
pull it up.
he was pretty. If he didn't, he was pretty close. Um, but
I know it
it,
was six. It was
it,
600
yeah, 600
um,
points.
total points. So that's his career playoffs. I want 2023. Let's see.
Yeah, no. What Jokic did
Nah,
on the
he
most.
he ended up not hitting it. He ended up getting 9.5 assists.
Take that. That's a victory for the Heat. I'm taking it. I'm taking it. The man averaging a triple double doesn't even finish. He only played 5 games in the finals, and he couldn't average a triple double. What's one more assist, you punk? Trash. Trash. I'm just taking all the dubs today. I mean, you can have a championship ring. Banners fly forever. I got participation trophies. And as
um,
Eagles fans taught me though, at least we made it to the championship. I'm all
the,
sorts of tangled here.
the other part of that too is I don't know what it ended up being. I would probably be I'd probably have to do quite a bit of digging to find it. Um,
Mhm.
but I think it was after game two. Jokic and Murray were averaging points, rebounds, and assists the most in NBA history combined as a duo.
That, yeah,
I don't know where that ended up after the last 3 games,
well,
but they were ahead of Shaq and Kobe by I think 6 total points per game, and
yeah.
rebounds and assists it like wasn't even close. But possibly the greatest playoff duo of all time.
I don't think so. But I mean, obviously, it's coming up. I mean, you got Kobe and Shaq, uh, Kareem and Magic, LeBron and Wade,
On
MJ,
paper, they
Pippen.
were better.
The paper doesn't matter.
They won just as much as anyone else in all time. Win
just,
rise in playoffs.
just one ring is all. If they continue it, sure. But after one ring, it's not a discussion right now.
No, I agree.
They
I'm
got to continue
saying
it.
just paper wise, but I agree. They're not the greatest playoff duo, but I mean, they did have when they were both healthy. The last time they were
Yeah.
both in the playoffs, they played phenomenal as well. So
And
to be continued.
shout out to Bradley. They are better than Tatum Brown in the
Right
Celtics.
now, absolutely. Um, right now, would you say they're the best duo in the league heading into 2024 season?
I feel like I still have to leave LeBron and AD.
He,
LeBron and AD are both top 10 players. Jamal Murray is not there.
is AD a top 10 player right now?
Yeah, I would say so. Because AD
'Cause,
has one thing. AD has the one
I
thing that
mean,
Jokic doesn't.
sure, every other game he's top 10.
This past season, he wasn't hurt. He missed a couple games, and they were more like
Yeah,
precautionary.
but also at the same time, Jokic and Murray still have to stay healthy together more consistently as well. Um, it's one full season, but I think they are the scariest duo heading into 2024 season
Oh
because
yeah,
um, I think they're the only duo that actually plays as a duo. Every other pair of two mostly plays as an individual. When they have the ball, the other guy's on the opposite side of the court for the most part. AD and
LeBron.
LeBron,
They're the
they
exception.
play. They're the exception.
Mhm.
Tatum and Brown, individuals.
They create their own
Um,
shots. Same thing with Kyrie and Luca and
um,
Book and KD.
yeah, I mean it goes on and on. I think they're the only true. There's only maybe two true duos as far as the way you play the game of basketball in the NBA. Can you think of it any others?
Duos.
Yeah, that play as a duo. A lot of
That pick and roll type duo stuff, not
yeah,
creating their own shots.
yeah.
I mean,
Because a
I
lot of a
guess
lot of the duos in the NBA are just two superstars on a team.
technically, take it how you want it. You could say Draymond and Steph instead of Steph and Clay, or Draymond and Clay instead of Steph and Clay, because they'll
I just
they'll he sets the screens and then they're
yeah
Clay not as much. Maybe it's now more Steph and Draymond. But I
yeah. I
feel like
mean, if that was the duo, yes. They're not. That's not the. I don't know how I'm trying to get at that, but that's not the duo of Golden State. That's not. You don't think Draymond and somebody. It's Steph and Clay.
But if one of those two players left the Warriors, which one do you think would hurt the Warriors more? I'd
Leaving?
argue,
Who
yeah,
would
leaving.
hurt more?
If only
Steph.
one left.
If Steph left, I think it would hurt way more.
Touche. I meant between Draymond and Clay.
Okay. I was like, all right. Between Draymond and Clay, who did I think Draymond hurts more? The Warriors don't. Yeah, the Warriors don't have anyone else that's playing like a big man.
Well, then that fits into my argument that Draymond and Steph would be the duo.
They should. I mean, if Clay leaves, they would be the duo, but they're not. Draymond just doesn't have the. I don't know. He has. I don't know. Is he a star or is he a superstar?
I think Draymond's never been a superstar. I think he's a
Yeah.
star. He's a really good defender. And he's like the heartbeat. He's kind of like what Zeke was for Dallas. He's the locker room guy. He
Yeah.
gets people going, gets them riled
Punches
up.
them in the mouth.
Yeah, literally. But let's I know we don't have Joe here, but that's fine. That's fine. We don't need Joe to put on a good show.
Rod Pod 2.0. That's what we should have named the live. Damn it. Missed opportunities. Missed opportunities.
Dude, you have to clip the 5 seconds of Joe.
No, definitely. let me write it down. I need to start taking notes so it makes it easier to clip stuff.
I forgot to write that down because that was completely improvised. But I did write down some other stuff. Completely unrelated, I guess. Not unrelated. What would be your way too early predictions for next year's NBA Finals?
I mean, I'm definitely gonna hold with the Nuggets coming out of the West. Not just because I'm wearing a Denver shirt and I'm a Nuggets fan, but this team isn't going anywhere as far as the team itself, the players on it. There's nobody up for contract right now. I mean, there's a couple guys, a couple role player type guys. But Jamal Murray is the closest guy in contract to get a contract, and that's 2 years out still. You got Jokic just got paid, MPJ just got paid, Christian Brown is a rookie. Like I said, Jamal Murray's 2 years out. Aaron Gordon is just got paid as well. I think he's 4 years out. I mean, this team, I mean, it's not going anywhere for at least 2 years. It's only going to get better through this offseason. So the Nuggets are going to be my favorite, and probably betting sites and the national narrative, they're probably going to be the favorites. If LeBron sticks around, there's probably going to be a lot of people talking about them in the Lakers coming out of the West, because they really came strong there at the end of the season. We all saw it.
Well, yeah, and all they get a chance to have an off season with Austin Reeves and
that team was built at the trade deadline.
Yeah, and then they can probably part ways for the second time with D'Angelo Russell, and fix a lot of things. Coach LeBron.
Right.
Coach LeBron.
See, coming out of the East, I really have to. I mean, rosters are changing.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Heat Nuggets, round 2. Let's go.
I mean, Milwaukee's going to be a team that's going to be a contender. Coming back healthy
until they play the Heat. Honestly,
that's fair. The East, I want to say the Celtics, man, but they're gonna find a way to choke somewhere.
Yeah, they got a bad case of Sugma.
Bucks or Heat. Heat are gonna get better. team seemingly is going to be,
Right.
excuse me, back together, right?
They have
Who's
to pay
leaving?
some guys. They have to pay some guys. I don't know everybody who's leaving. I know Duncan's under contract, Hero's under contract, Bam and Jimmy. Kyle Lowry, I believe, is going to be a free agent. I don't know that they bring him back. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Um, but I'm more like wondering if they can bring in, because what I've noticed watching Jimmy play, especially in the playoffs, is he's not a number one guy. He can have his number one moments, but he's not a number one guy.
Right.
Um,
He's not a volume shooter. Um,
he's not a shooter at all.
he's a guy. He will take the bull by the horns in the fourth quarter if needed and allowed. Um, but no, he's not. He's not a number one guy.
If possible. I don't know how the contracts would work. We can look into it and figure it out for next week or something. If possible, if it becomes an option, I would like to see adjust your clocks because Dame time in Miami, like
Possible.
uh, I
Isn't he
would
good
like
friends
that.
with Bam?
I think like anyone on the Heat is good friends with everybody unless you're on the Celtics. Like, and
Fair.
also, we skipped over this. Huge shout out to Jokic, who legitimately went player by player, shook
Yeah.
their hands. Even the guys who didn't even play shook all of their hands before celebrating.
And like,
It's hard to be. I'm a Heat fan. I'm sad we lost, but when you lose to a guy like in 2011 when the Heat lost to the Mavericks and you get Dirk, it's like but it's Dirk. I have that same kind of feeling. Like I'm glad
mhm.
Dirk got his. I'm glad Jokic got his because they're class acts. They're all time greats already for Jokic, who is the most boring player ever. He's just so efficient without being efficient. If that even, I don't even know. I don't know how to explain it. It's uh,
Dude, I mean, I know. I mean, I don't watch a ton of basketball. I be the first one to admit that. I watch primarily Nuggets. Um, yeah, I watched probably 60, 65 games this year
that's more
in
than
the
me.
regular season. And
That's more than me.
dude, it is it is so exciting to watch that guy play night in and night out. He's the same dude.
That's because
Whether whether it's
you're a Nuggets fan. That's why you can
whether it's
watch him.
whether it's no, we actually most Nuggets fans can't. Um, that's a whole
It's so
nother
hard.
long story.
It's nap time. And I mean that. Like he is great. He is a phenomenal basketball player. I would argue because of his lack of defense that Giannis still might be the best player in the league. But it's Giannis and Jokic. It's their league. There's it's not Embiid who just won MVP. It's Giannis and Jokic. I don't think there's any debate of that. It's just Giannis does a little bit of everything except for he can't shoot. Jokic
Uh,
can
I
shoot.
I think you should watch more Jokic before you start judging his defense. He is a phenomenal defensive player.
He's a big defensive player.
He's a great defensive player. No matter who he's on, it don't matter.
He's a big guy. He can alter shots. He's not very good. He's not bad. He's middle of the pack. He's middle of the pack.
So if he's big and he can alter your shots and he's always in your face, then how is he middle of the road? I mean, I'm not saying he's a top guy, but the dude's in
I,
everybody's face. He can move. He moves laterally with anybody. I know he doesn't look like he can.
the thing with his defense is, and I don't even think you can defend this. He does not stop buckets to the hole. If he can keep you from the rim, I think it's more or less people not driving. If you drive on him, he can get had. That's why the Lakers series was so close in points, not necessarily games, but because they could score at will in the paint. He's not a rim protector,
It's because Jokic was out of the paint and defensively.
but he's not a rim protector anyways. Even if he was, they don't have a rim protector, which is the Lakers are probably the best chance for the Nuggets to lose. Uh, and why do you think Bam had such a good series? Like
Yeah, Bam is a great player.
Bam has
He
been
was making the shots that Jokic does. He's making all kinds of all just
look at what
shots with
Bam
people in
did.
his face, hook shots.
Yeah, but look at what Bam did in
He's
the
making bad
series
shots
against the
look great.
Bucks. Look at Bam did against the Bucks, against the Knicks, against the
Okay, but
Celtics.
your argument's
He,
based on 1.5 series with Jokic.
no, my argument for Jokic not playing defense is literally everybody else. Just,
No, it's 1.5 series. It's the Lakers and part
that's
of the Heat series.
that's just what I'm saying. That's just my small sample size. It's throughout the season. For Bam's
It's not a
offense,
fact though. The numbers don't support that.
sure it does. I don't have numbers right in front of me. I just have this, but uh, I don't have. You don't need numbers when you can watch it.
I did. I just told you I watched at least 60 games through the season.
Yeah, well, you also could be a little biased, which is fine. But I'm telling you, Bam was not
Numbers
good
aren't
in this
biased.
playoff.
Stats aren't biased.
Yeah, well, it, Bam was trash in this playoffs until the Nuggets, and who was guarding him primarily?
As I just said, he was making bad shots look great, like you saw.
Jokic was making bad shots look great.
Okay. That's why I tipped my hat to Bam for having a great series because he was making bad shots look great. He had a phenomenal series. You can't
Most
say
of his
someone was bad at defense because someone had a great series because they made bad shots look great. Sure, he did have his time against Jokic, which every player defensively is going to get beat.
yeah, he's an unstoppable offensive force.
So you just argued against yourself.
For Jokic being a good offensive player and not a good defensive player. What did Anthony Davis
You have
average?
you have nothing to back that up. Absolutely nothing.
We'll save it for next week then.
I'll
I'll
pull
dig
up
up
the
some
numbers
numbers.
right now. Like we
Yeah,
don't have to save it for next week. Like, you
we're
have
never
nothing to
going
back
to
this
agree.
argument up.
We're never going to agree on it.
No, because you're talking
So,
out of your ass.
agree to disagree.
No, you're talking out of your ass, dude.
Jokic is not a good defender. He's not a bad defender, but he's not an amazing defender. He cannot lock down somebody.
All right, whatever you say, man. You have nothing to back that up.
If you have players who average 20 on you on any game for in a series or
Oh,
however long,
any game, one game. That's all it takes to be middle of the road or a
if
bad
it's
defender.
consistent, if it's consistent,
It's
yes.
not consistent. It's not
How many
consistent.
points did Bamba average?
That
Series.
is one player.
Series.
One player.
Yeah. What about Anthony Davis?
That is a second player. Like I said, your argument is based on 1.5 series.
That's the only
Against
information
two
I have
teams.
right now. That's the only information I have. You're getting heated. You're getting heated.
Because you have nothing to back this argument up. You're talking out of your ass.
Okay.
You're talking as a biased Heat fan because you are upset. We all heard it in your live against the Nuggets. You're upset about a loss, and you are a poor loser.
Agree to disagree. But so we'll root for a Nuggets Heat rematch next year. Probably going to be more like Bucks and Nuggets. I don't know if the Heat can replicate their run. Anything else for NBA, or you want to go Stanley Cups, which was not a series at all? I guess they technically both weren't.
I I literally watched the last 5 minutes of Game 5, and it was 8-3 3?
Uh, every time the Panther in the last game, anyways, every time the Panthers scored a goal to make it closer, the Knights scored right after. They just answered. It was like a momentum killer, kind of like in Game 5 of the Heat Nuggets. It was like the Heat would have a 13-0 run, and then the Nuggets would answer with a 15-2 run, and then the Heat would answer with an 11-1 run, and then the Nuggets. It was just back and forth of runs. Which Game 5 was very boring. Really good defense, very boring game. Everyone was missing shots. The refs were bad, but doesn't matter. Um, yeah, the Knights are just they were just better across the table.
Yeah, which I don't know. Like I said, I didn't watch since the Avalanche have been out. I haven't watched a whole lot of the Stanley Cup playoffs, but that Panthers looked like they were going to be a dominant team through the entire playoffs. I guess so did the Knights. They were kind of just.
I think the Knights are a little bit more physical.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot of information on that series.
It's just had I'm not good with names. Obviously, you know that with hockey. But when you have a player on your team score a goal in every period, it's not going to look good.
No.
For the opposing team, it was just honestly at some point in that hockey game, it because I was watching the Cubs game. The Cubs were playing the Mets, I think. I don't even know. But the hockey score had more goals than runs. Baseball to hockey. There was more hockey goals than runs, and that was wild. And then that Cubs game ended up being 11-3, which is almost the same score as the hockey game. Was it 9-4 final or 9-3 final?
I'm not sure what the final ended up being.
It was just,
I know it was 8-3 when I turned it on, and I was like, "Ooh, wow, that's not a good
game
way for the series to end if you're on the losing side."
could be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was 4-0 after one, or 4-0 early two. It was over quick. Like I know in basketball and football, a two score lead is nothing, but hockey, it's hard to score goals in hockey. And now that's just and I thought the Knights won in 2018. They lost.
They won their inaugural year, right?
They didn't. This was their first one.
I
See, I think we got Mandela affected on
I
ourselves.
I, I was just about to say that I'm pretty sure we did.
Like, because I legitimately thought they won they went their inaugural season, but I thought they won. So now I don't know who won hockey that year. I don't even know who they played. This that's wild. Uh, to Mandela affect ourselves.
I wonder how many people you would if you asked them that if they would say that they won.
Uh, that's a good question. I, I
Someone put a poll somewhere. How
who
many
won?
how many Stanley Cup titles do the Golden Knights now have?
Well, we'd have to wait. We'd have to give it a year to marinate because it's all the Nuggets won their first and the Knights won their first.
Yeah.
So we have to let it marinate just a little bit. Um, I was gonna say something. I lost it. I was going to call you a fraud today for last Wednesday, not doing the pod because we were watching the game, which is fine. I was gonna do both, uh, which ended up going live anyways and watching and made some cracks about the refs and Jokic doesn't get fouls called. Like, yeah. Either way, actually, I feel like Jokic gets smacked and but I feel like they called the series very, very close.
I do
In terms
too.
of like in terms of how bad and or how good, whichever way you want to put it.
Yeah, dude,
Um,
they weren't called shit, and then they were calling some
Everything.
stuff, but they were shitty calls.
Yeah. Yeah, like that foul on Jimmy Butler before he made the three pointers that they called on Gordon, and then they reviewed it and still called it. That shouldn't have been a foul.
Right. Even the announcers were like, "Yeah, that's not a foul. That's going to be overturned for sure."
Yeah, it's like
Like,
they were either really bad or really good. There was no in
yeah,
between, and it was bad for both. Like there was some times that I Jokic got just basically tackled by somebody, and they didn't call a foul, but then little Caleb Martin is doing this, and then they call the foul, and it's like, well, what's a foul anymore? Like I think Game Five, all they were just playing football with the basketball with how much stuff they were letting go until towards the end because they were just letting everybody hack everybody. Oh, got some people over there. I don't got nobody over here.
no,
Yeah, just
absolutely no one. Um,
Booster.
did you see that Diggs was at minicamp today, but he was absent yesterday?
Yeah, no. That was actually on the to-do list. The trouble, Diggs trouble. Like we've talked about it, kind of like he doesn't want to be there anymore. He wants to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Potentially.
it's something that I've said I've had a feeling about basically
Mhm.
since they lost that playoff game.
Yeah,
Um,
2 years in a
that
row.
yeah, and there's been clear animosity, you
Hmm.
know, between him and Josh Allen, him and the team. I mean, I would probably speculate that there's other teammates that he's having problems with as well. I'm sure it doesn't stop with Josh Allen.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He was back today, so
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see the exact reason, but they had said it was personal reasons for his absence. Uh, but I don't know. I like we've been kind of sniffing at this for months now. Not just so like if he ends up somewhere else, that's that's our breaking story. That's our breaking news. We said we've been on this train.
we
Everyone
said
else
it
is just
first.
catching
We
up.
called it.
Yeah,
We called
yeah.
it.
Everyone else is just making stuff up.
But McDermott did say in the press conference after minicamp yesterday when he was not there that he was concerned.
Hmm.
But he didn't say what he was concerned about. They just asked if he was concerned. He said, "Yes, I'm concerned." I mean, he could be concerned about whatever. If Stephon Diggs has something personal going on, he could be concerned about that. He can be concerned about whatever, maybe.
Yeah. Well, since we're talking about the Bills, like I know we talked about it kind of, but DeMar Hamlin's full go. Like, so that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. He's not an
Or,
actor.
yeah.
It is not Michael. It is not Michael. What's his name that they were saying was playing him? Michael Jordan. Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, Michael Majority. Yeah. No, it's really him. It's
It's
really
him.
him. It's really him. Uh,
I guess allegedly. I guess we don't know that for a fact.
allegedly, it was him. Anyone could put on a coat and then just do this.
And then a helmet with a face mask and a
Yeah.
yeah and a visor on there. No, that was fucking Damar Hamlin. Everyone needs to shut up about that shit.
Yeah. No, it definitely was. It definitely was. Um, one word to describe this topic.
Sucks. Ooh, actually, you know what? I was mowing our baseball field today, and all of a sudden I come up across a baseball. I'm like, all right, cool. So I stop, get off the mower, pick it up. It has a fucking Angels logo on it. I was like, yeah, this was meant to be mine. Thank you, poor little kid who lost this.
Was it signed?
It's now sitting on a grown man's shelf. He made his day.
Was it signed? Would be cool.
No,
You know
I
how
was
mad
looking
I'd
for a
be if I
signature.
had a ball. I have a Cubs ball somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where it is. You know how mad I'd be if I had a ball that was signed and I was playing and someone was playing catch with it and it ended up in a field. It was like the Sandlot.
Yeah, yeah, it was the Sandlot because then it goes over the fence and they have to go get it, and then he gets a new
Yeah.
ball. Yeah, yeah.
Like, could you imagine? Like, no, that ball should never. Like, the story behind Sandlot triggers me. It's a great movie, but
Yeah,
why are you playing catch? Why are you so desperate for friends that you grab a signed Babe Ruth ball?
I would beat the crap.
Like, if that was my child, that kid grounded for life.
Yeah.
Like, they're never meeting anybody. They're gonna be the little midget king in the bench warmers, living in the basement. That's a reference right there.
What else has happened? Anything else happening in the world of
There's
sports?
like 80 something days to the NFL season, like 2 months, a little
That's
over two
so that's
months.
so many days.
I know.
Um,
OTAs are a thing. People are
the
doing
jet
team photos.
the Jets canceled practices or practice.
Also, um, CJ Mosley says that he wants the Jets to be feared and put a target on their back just because Aaron Rodgers has looked good.
What an L statement.
It's like put a target on her back. We haven't won anything, but put a target on her back.
Oh, you know what is happening in the world? I don't know if we have a banner here for it or
Probably not.
not. Where the hell is D.HOP going? It's in a ticker here, but
I got you.
oh, nice.
I don't know. I hear there's a chance he could go back to Arizona.
I mean, he's
Um,
heading to New England today or tomorrow. Probably
he
tomorrow.
went
He wasn't there
he went to
today.
Tennessee. From what I saw, they offered a contract, but nothing has like what it was or how much it was or anything like that. Hasn't come to light as to my knowledge as of this moment right now at 9:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mm, where does he at? I don't see. I just don't see him going to like. I don't see him going back to Arizona. Like I see him. There's teams out there with top 10 quarterbacks
Mhm.
that'll pay him.
The logic, like the teams he should be wanting to try to go to is I see the Chiefs. Obviously, that should be the number one destination. They don't have a number one receiver as of right now. That's not named Travis Kelce. Um, the Bills, especially if Diggs might be on the way out. We that for sure we don't know if he's not on the way out, then Diggs and D Hop would be an incredible duo. Plus, you've got to throw in Gabe Davis and Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox, who I believe Dawson Knox got hurt.
I don't. I'm not positive.
It's OTAs. Everyone, I feel like everyone gets hurt in OTAs. Um, huh. Oop, I got a friend.
Um, wild card, Jags. Probably not, but dark horse.
Yeah, definitely like the darkest horse. I just don't know where he fits. Not with their weapons that they have. Like, would he be willing to be a number three? Because isn't that kind of what he would end up being with Ridley and Kirk? I know he's probably better than Kirk, but based on how the Jags run their offense,
They'd probably
eh,
use him as a number two. He'd be outside. I mean, they could use him wherever the hell you really want to. He could play inside, outside.
yeah. I
He's
like
he's
I
he's
still kind of
unique.
like the Browns. I still kind of like the Browns. Pair him with Amari Cooper, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and D Hop. That's a plus you got Nick Chubb and Joku. I mean that offense on paper would be crazy.
Bring him to Denver, baby. Um,
Nah, Denver's getting the goat back. Their
let's
true
see.
number one. Their true number one's coming back.
Yeah,
Tim Patrick. And how, is he actually back yet? Or Still rehabbing. He's working it.
I actually haven't heard any. I haven't heard his name at all.
I hear Dulick. Is that how you say his last name?
One more time.
Dulick, the tight end. Your man
Dolchich.
crush, Dolchich.
Dolchich.
Yeah, your man beauty.
Dude, he is a beautiful human being, both inside
Jo-
and out.
Joe has a Joe has one for minors for Quinn. Is that his first
Quinn
name?
Miners,
Quinn.
yeah.
That's his
Quinn
name.
is also a beautiful man.
Joe loves Quinn. I could. You guys should both get jerseys.
Uh, Tim Patrick is not back at practice yet.
Oh, oh. I have awesome news that I did. I'm not gonna go get it, so maybe I'll wear it for next
Oh,
pod.
Tim Patrick was back yesterday. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, look at you. Breaking news on your breaking news.
Well, he fully participated in a practice. He was limited in another. Um, so I mean, he's on the field.
That's good. That's good. That's good. And Pollard's on the field too from his big injury.
That's solid.
Yeah.
KJ
Uh,
Hamler moved into his basement. That's dope. Other news
hmm.
that popped up with his name. He's
Did you
got a new
did you?
roommate.
I know Joe wouldn't want to talk about this. You probably don't want either. But did you see Kyrie was trying to recruit LeBron to the Mavs?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it.
I don't know how
Wouldn't
it
he
would
have to be
work.
traded though, or released?
I think he has an opt out. Like I think
He probably does.
LeBron stuff is a 1-and-1. So like he play a year, he can opt out, and because
But why? Why would he leave though?
that doesn't make any sense to go to Dallas. It really
It doesn't make
and
sense for him to leave at all.
if he does leave, it's going to be to the team that drafts Bronny.
Yeah, but
I
he's going
know
to be playing at USC next year. So
next year. Yes. So if he's going to leave, he's going to be leaving 2024, not 2023.
right, that's what I mean. It wouldn't make sense
Yeah.
for him to leave this off season.
No.
He's not going anywhere. He's going to be a Laker or he's going to be retired. But that's also not going to happen because I'm still holding by what he said and that he wants to play with Bronny. And
Yeah.
I
Even he's backtracked it a little bit. He says that that's his goal, not Bronny. That might not be Bronny's goal.
right,
So I still think no matter what, he's gonna suit up for
like
this.
Dad, go away.
But I think that's the best case for Bronny, in my personal opinion, would be for him to play with his father rather than against his father.
Yeah, I mean, why not play with him in the NBA? Learn from one of, if not the greatest of all time. One definitely top two.
He definitely
No matter who you talk to,
yeah,
they have to be top two, or they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I mean, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and he's fucking top two.
yeah, he's 100% top two. You'll have the weirdos who say Kobe or Kareem or uh, that would say that they're top two and he's not, or
Hey,
even some weirdos that say
3 to 5's up for debate.
yeah, 3 to 5 is completely up for debate. But they say I've seen people who have Braun one and Kareem two, and then MJ 3 or 4. Like
Those aren't the type of people you should have in your life.
I mean, there's compelling cases for the top. Like I could see why somebody would say that Kareem is the best player of all time. 100% say that why they would have him number one.
I get it, but they're wrong.
And until they bring in the best big man, until they say, "Hey, he's the best big man."
It's like,
Which,
okay, we could talk about that.
yeah, yeah, we can make the the best. Now, Jokic, he's
Not
gonna
yet.
have he could eventually have a case to not only be the greatest big man, but the greatest white guy.
Who who is a better white guy than him?
Larry Bird.
For sure.
Yeah,
Who else? Anyone else?
Dirk. I would
Dirk
say
better
Dirk.
still, you think? Kind of
Yeah,
teetering?
it's close. It's a lot close. It's very close.
Who else? Who else could there be? What's the
I can't.
homeboy that played for
I can't even think of white people, man.
The dude, it's
Ju-
Havlich. Ha-
Havlich, have a
Is that his,
Havlicek.
Havlicek? Is that his name?
Yeah, yeah.
Isn't he up there?
I don't even know who that is. Not, I mean, not. I don't really know who that is.
Right, right. I really don't know
Um,
who he is either.
there's like Steve Nash, Jason Kidd. Um, shoot, are there even white guys in the NBA anymore?
Yeah, there's one on the Christian Brown. That man is never happy.
No, I hate him. Nothing against he had a great finals. He had great moments. I have
Right,
nothing against how he played. I have nothing against him being on the Nugget. My issue with him is his last name is spelled Braun, and he can't
right,
say it right. Like, oh, it's Brown. No, it's not. In no language is that Brown.
dude. So,
That's just
have
Braun.
you seen the pictures of him? Because it's been floating around about how he won the high school um,
Hmm.
national championship with Kansas, and then now as a rookie the NBA Finals. You see every single picture. He has the same just blank look on his face, like
He's never satisfied.
on stage on Monday night. He had the same unsatisfied, like we're not fucking done look on his face. Like we're getting three more of these bitches.
Honestly, um,
That dude's a dog.
maybe you feel differently, but me personally, uh, I think Jokic at him as a person, he's fine with just one ring. I don't think he likes playing the season this long. I think he legitimately wants to skip the parade and go home and be home with his family.
Yeah, I
Uh,
don't know if that's necessarily because he doesn't want to play basketball though. I
well,
think
I
he
just
would rather just celebrate. That's like the season's over. He want like
yeah,
basketball's
that's what I
done.
mean.
I'm out.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why,
I don't know.
like, because if he wins the NBA Finals every year, he can't just go home. He has to wait the week for the parade and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, three
Like,
days.
yeah, but that seemed like a lot considering he legitimately was like, no,
Yeah.
no.
Well,
When have you ever heard of?
he's a guy he'd rather celebrate with his family, with his loved
Yeah,
ones, people that
he's
care most.
definitely.
Because like last year when he won MVP, the Nuggets surprised him in Serbia, and that dude was extremely emotional, like crying and
Well, he
um,
was home, so
yeah,
maybe if they let him do the parade in Serbia,
do one there. They probably will, honestly.
let's go. He would
Honestly, there
probably
probably is one scheduled. I bet you if I looked up right now, there's a Serbian parade scheduled for like
he
next
would
week or something.
100%. He'd probably be he'd be on that first. He'd leave. He wouldn't even do the post game interview. He'd already be in Serbia.
Yeah, he'd be halfway there by the time anyone got out of the showers. It was wild.
Yeah,
AG fucking walking the streets shirtless of Denver after the win.
yeah. I know. Jokic obviously deserved the Finals MVP. But Aaron Gordon stepped up in a massive way this series.
Huge,
He's
huge.
and no, I'm not taking anything against what he did, but it's Denver size. They're compared to Miami. Like Bam's not even a really big center. He's like 6'10".
Well, that's the thing with like MPJ. Like he's kind of a liability on defense, but he's 6'10". It's like he can close out. The dude is long as shit.
And he couldn't shoot. He couldn't shoot to save his life.
No,
He
I'm
had
I'm glad I'm
other
glad
than
Malone
him.
made the adjustment and put Christian Brown in several times.
Well, but without him though, him and KCP, who neither one of them were shooting well. But they made crucial rebounds, offensive rebounds, defensive
Hmm.
rebounds, crucial steals.
They
Like
found a role.
they yeah, and like I don't want to talk about that last pass by Himi Suckets where he literally just threw it to KCP. Like
Yeah,
shoot the damn ball. You know how many times we're back on NBA talk because we're a bunch of idiots.
yeah.
Um,
There's not really anything else going on in every other sport.
every time Jimmy drove to the basket and then instead of going up for the shot, he just starts to pivot and look for somebody else. Like you're under the freaking basket. Put a layup. Get
Hmm.
fouled. Like that's your game. Your
I
game
wonder.
isn't shooting. I feel like something broke in him.
Yeah, I was
I
just
don't know.
about to say that. Like, it just doesn't. It something was off with. I don't know. Like, I mean, Aaron Gordon played a really good defense. Again, he was locked into Jimmy buckets, and Aaron Gordon's a good defender to begin with. Um, but like, he just something wasn't right with Jimmy Butler. Just
It also could have
something.
been that he was. I personally think when he was on Jamal Murray, he was playing really hard and good defense on Jamal Murray when he
Mm-hmm.
needed to, and it was taken away from his offensive side, which I just can't help to think that like Caleb Martin disappeared, Gabe Vincent disappeared.
I could
Vincent,
imagine too, like trying to drive or just playing against a dude the size of Aaron Gordon has got to just take it out of you too. You know,
yeah, no, it wear
when
him
Aaron
down,
Gordon would switch on to him.
wear him down. That clean block swipe to and then to Braun.
Dude, that kid, man, he's gonna be something in this league. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I honestly think he's gonna end up by the end of next season. He's gonna be the starting two guard because
I just wanted.
he
Go ahead.
sorry, he was drafted as a three. He
Yeah.
primarily played the three this year.
Hmm.
I shouldn't say that. He played the three a lot this year, but especially in the playoffs, he was spelling for guards pretty frequently. Um, and he seems to be better suited to play the two, anyways. But
I,
that's the spot that the Nuggets truly need. I mean, KCP, he's not what he used to be.
he's got two rings.
Yeah, he's got two rings. He's a good player. I think he's kind of at this point in his career probably better suited to be coming off the bench and leading that group of guys and getting his high teens in points there.
Yeah. Yeah. I was really hoping that Joe would be here so then we could both say I remember my first beer. But in a joking manner, obviously, because
Right.
it hey once you win your first title, it like the Heat's first title was in '06 with Wade and Shaq and Alonzo Mourning even like
It just
they
bums
had.
me out we couldn't do it faster than Cleveland did.
And I was gonna make a joke about that. Like LeBron was there
Two
for seven
years,
years, left
2 years
and
off.
came back. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think they got 49 years. I think it was, and the Nuggets were
Yeah,
51.
and what the Cavs did to win was way tougher than what the Nuggets had to do too. Which do you buy in any of that? Like playoff matchups, like the Heat had to go through the Bucks, the Knicks, and the Celtics, and then the Nuggets had to go through Timberwolves. Is that how they played the first round?
Uh, yeah, they played John Morant and the Timberwolves,
John Morant's on the Grizzlies.
or the Grizzlies. Sorry, the
No,
Grizzlies. They played the Grizzlies.
The Lakers played the Grizzlies. I thought.
Then yes, sorry, it was the Timberwolves. My bad.
But and then they had to go through the Suns, who yeah, I know they have KD and Book, but like you know what I'm saying, like the path to the finals, it just even me who picked the Heat, like it was an uphill battle. I knew it was, but I really thought they would have been able to steal that game three. Like it would have been a lot bigger. Like, but
Yeah, I believe in that sentiment. If it's the other way, if the Heat would have won, they had the tougher matchups. They were more seasoned to get there. Um,
it just
but
reverted.
I don't know. I just don't buy it the other way. You're the best team in the league through the season. You're
Oh,
going to get the
absolutely.
8 seed. Um, and
Yeah, it just
I
happens that they
mean,
also got the fifth and the seventh seed, so they got the.
yeah, they happen to win their games. They.
You're right. You're right. No, no, I'm not. I'm not. I
No,
don't
I know, I
buy it.
know, I know what you're saying. I get what you're getting at. Um, I don't think the Nuggets road was as easy as not just you, but people are trying to make it seem. Because they played some. I mean, the 8 seed, sure, I'll give you that one, the first round. But the Suns
Look at look
they're a good team.
I think the Suns are going to be a better team next year.
for sure. And the Lakers, as soon as they made it to the playoffs, outside of the Nuggets, were talked about it as the favorite coming out of the West.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
so I don't see it as being as easy as people are making it. I get what you're trying to say. I don't fall into that sentiment either.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't. I think the Heat earned their spot. They earned their way there,
Mhm.
and the Nuggets were far and above the better team. The only thing the Heat really had is they had, and I would still die on this hill. They had the best coach.
I agree.
Um,
I
and
agree with you. I
they
don't know if I
had
said it on here or if it was on with Couch Potato with Zach.
or both.
Um, it could have been both, but I was firmly believe that Spoelstra would steal a game.
Hmm.
Whether it's out, I think he did outcoach Malone. There was that was it
I mean,
12.6 seconds or whatever, two
listen,
timeouts, just
the
stupid
Nuggets,
shit. But
the Nuggets was better. I mean, the Heat. Yeah, that's why I asked you earlier. Like you said you didn't really sweat or worry or whatever. But I feel like you might have sweat a little bit because this Heat team. That's the one thing I can say is they did not die.
no,
They did not give up.
no, and I did say I thought it was going to be quite possibly one of the most passionate NBA finals of all time.
Hmm.
Nothing is going to be left out there, and that's the thing about Jimmy Butler too that I wanted to defend him a little bit is he did leave everything out there on the floor when it was all said and done.
Hmm.
At least at the end of Game 5, he put it all out there, and but I mean, sure, I don't want to say I've was looking past the Heat completely. It's just I always I just knew the Nuggets were the better team. I didn't it didn't worry me. I didn't think the win was going to be here in Denver. So I mean that might have made me a little bit nervous. Seeing them being able to steal home court and go into Miami. But I just knew we were going to go into Miami and play hard. Just watching this team play all season. They did it to everybody. You know.
Hmm. Well,
But
I'm
like I
just
said, I don't
happy.
want to say I wasn't nervous at all. Because sure there was definitely that thought in the mind of this can. I mean, it can go either way. The Nuggets sure that they should win this series, but Bolster's a hell of a fucking coach.
Yeah. And I think they did make good adjustments. And I think two of those games, including Game 5, were I think it was Game 4 and Game 5 that the Nuggets didn't really play well, and the Heat just couldn't take advantage. And then when the rubber needed to meet the road, the Nuggets made
Hmm.
the shots that needed to be made to pull away.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, someone. It was always someone came through in the fourth quarter.
Because the Heat
Someone
won
stepped up.
every quarter in Game 5
Hmm.
until the last 2 minutes, or I guess the last like 6 minutes, because the Heat didn't score a bucket for like 6 minutes. They had 5 points in the fourth quarter of Game 5 with like 3 minutes to
Right.
go or something like
Like
that. So
I don't know how to explain it with the Nuggets. Um,
they're
I don't
just
know.
good.
It's like the when I watching the Broncos in 2015 when that Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. Like there was just never a doubt in those games that we were gonna find a way to win just because all season that's what we did. We found
Hmm.
a way somehow just to pull the win out.
I think it came down to like when we did the finals preview, we talked about which team wanted it more, and you said the Nuggets wanted it more. I don't necessarily know that I believe that, but I think both teams really wanted it. The Nuggets were just the far. If the Heat had another superstar, one other super, if Jimmy Buckets would have showed up, we would have got 7 games. And because Bam was there every game. Kyle Lowry made important shots. The role players played their roles, except for in
It,
Game 1 where they didn't make anything, and then I think Game 4 they didn't make anything. They couldn't make their shots. Um, but
I just don't think with how the team is currently constructed, even Jimmy Butler playing just how Jimmy Butler what we normally are used to seeing from Jimmy Butler.
We needed playoff Jimmy.
I just don't see a way that even with playoff Jimmy that the Heat win 4 games over the Nuggets.
Oh
But
no, I don't. I think it would have just gone 7-7. I think it would have been Game 7 in Denver, home team.
it would have been the series every fan of basketball truly wanted.
See, I picked the Heat in 6 because I knew there was zero way the Heat would win 7,
Right.
no matter what.
Like if
There was
I call this in 7, there's no way I could pick the Heat type of thing.
no, exactly, and
I
I know I picked the Heat, knowing in the back of my mind that the Nuggets are most likely going to win, and I think oppositely of Joe. Joe bets for what he wants. He wants to be right. I want to be right and happy. I don't want to be wrong.
You can't have both, man. Come on, bro. You know
I,
this. It's life.
I don't want to say the Nuggets are going to win and then put my money on the Nuggets and
So
then lose the bet and then be happy that the Heat won.
so are you saying that betting on sports is kind of like marriage? You can be happy or right.
Yes, exactly. But when it comes to the playoffs and the NBA Finals, if you don't expect your team to win, if you don't think your team can win, what do you do?
Right.
What is the purpose of being a fan?
You're not a fan,
I feel like being right is fine. Like you could be right, or you could be happy. Yeah, exactly. Like either you're right or you're not happy. Like Joe won his bet, uh, but at the end of the day, like I
Yeah,
would
but
like
he was sitting there rooting for Miami every game, though.
100%,
You know,
100%. Like I wouldn't, I because you're not going to win that much money betting on the
right.
favorites.
I mean, yeah, unless you bet a lot of money, you're not making a lot of
Yeah,
money.
you have to bet a lot of money to win a lot of money when they're
Hmm.
betting the favorites. But if he would have bet the Heat would have won.
That would have been a big payout, even on $5. You probably would have won a couple $100.
Because they were like, I believe, 9-point underdogs in every game except for game 3, which cause that's because the Heat won game 2. Did you
I
freeze?
think, yeah, am I back?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, my internet just went out and back on. I think we're good now. Um, totally lost my train of thought though because of that one chip challenge.
And I've never been opened. Still sealed.
Who are who's the biggest free agents in the NBA this offseason?
Bro, I couldn't tell you. Chris
I
Paul.
know I know the draft is in about 2 weeks.
Wait, isn't it
The
next week?
the NBA draft might be next week.
The XFL draft is coming up too.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. We had to-
Let's see. We got top free agents for the 2023 or after the 2023 season, I guess. James Harden on a player option would be a free agent.
yeah, he has to opt out. Chances are he probably will.
Right.
I forgot about him. That's why I didn't consider him a free agent because he's technically under contract.
Right. Like this is I guess this site is including anyone that could I guess they're speculating is going to opt out or can opt out. I'm guessing is speculating is going to opt out. We also got Kyrie Irving is a free agent as of right now. I'm guessing he's going to end up back in Dallas though.
I think he might end up in LA.
You think he's kind of doing a reverse thing going on there on social media?
Mm-hmm. We already saw him do it with Durant.
Yeah.
Well, we're just homies. We're just homies, and they both end up in Brooklyn.
Right. Kristaps Porzingis. Interesting name.
Do you know who that is?
Yes. Yeah. I've actually when I really first started like watching basketball, I don't know, handful of years ago. It for 1 year I was in a 4-man experimental basketball fantasy basketball league, and he actually was on my team for a little while there towards the end because he was a dog with the Mavericks a few years ago. Just
Yeah, I was gonna say
rebounding, fucking
hopefully when he was good because it's been a minute.
yeah. It was with them. It was when he was with the Mavericks. So I think it was the year before he had all of his knee problems start, or not. I don't know if that's when it started, but when he had a knee injury a few years back.
Hmm.
Fred
But
Van
yeah,
Vliet.
ooh, I knew that too because there's some of these guys that are out there.
Yeah, he just opted out the other day.
Yeah, I did see that. But there's some of these guys that are out there that I'm thinking could replace some of the guys that are leaving the Heat, which again, I don't
Mm-hmm.
have that full list. Um, because just a couple more playmakers, just a couple more playmakers.
Well, here's another guy that could extremely intrigue you or not, just depending on how you feel about him, I guess. Chris Middleton,
Is he an actual free agent or is it opt out?
player player option.
I think he'll stay with the Bucks.
I think he's going to as well. I mean, I haven't heard anything about him like not being happy there or anything. He's just hurt.
Oh, and another duo, him and Giannis or Drew Holiday and Giannis are a very good duo.
Yeah, that's a solid duo. Here's your guy right here, Draymond Green, player option.
I don't know if he's coming back unless they trade Jordan Poole.
They just paid him.
I
Like
know.
they paid him after the incident.
Yeah, I know.
Another guy that I actually, if he played for the Nuggets for, I don't know if it was an entire season or if he was traded that season, but Jeremy Grant, he's a
Hmm.
four. Um, Vucevic, I don't know if that's exactly how you play. He used to say it
For the Magic,
for the Bulls.
or is he on the Bulls? Yeah, I think he was on the Magic.
Here's another guy I had on my fantasy basketball team a few years back who's solid. He's a assist. He was a triple double master just 1 year.
Hmm.
What else we got? Brooke Lopez,
He's gonna stay in Milwaukee.
Kyle Kuzma, player option.
He'll end up somewhere, I'm sure. I don't know where, but somewhere. He was on the
Uh,
Bulls last year, I think.
some
Right?
dude named last year. It says he was with Washington.
Oh, yep. Was he traded to Washington? I feel like he was
I
on the Bulls.
believe last I knew he was on the um, he was playing with Zion, wasn't he a few years ago? Wasn't he traded from the Lakers to New Orleans?
With Lonzo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you're right.
D'Angelo Russell, as you mentioned earlier,
Mhm.
he's
I
a
don't think
free agent.
I don't know what his issue is, but he
Ooh,
was unplayable against the Nuggets. I don't know why I don't know why. What's his?
he's a
Is it Ham? The coach for the Lakers left
yeah,
D'Lo in. Like he was unplayable.
right,
Like it's not like MPJ. MPJ wasn't making shots, but he was doing everything else.
right.
Like
He
D'Lo
found he
was
was doing
doing
something else.
nothing.
Um, here's two guys that I actually really like. Different roles, but still like them respectively. Jordan Clarkson, player option,
Hmm.
and Austin Reeves is a restricted free agent. So you need to
Yeah,
give up some picks, I'd imagine.
he's definitely staying with the Lakers.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
I think he's definitely he's a good fit with LeBron. No, I think
Um,
Kyrie's going to end up a Laker for sure. I really do. I'll be shocked if he doesn't.
one other guy, Bruce Brown from the Nuggets, is a player option, but he's gonna end up staying
I from what I heard, um,
unless they need to
from
get rid of his contract.
from
Sorry,
one
go
of
ahead.
the sports podcasts that I listen to, that they think he might just he since he has a ring now, he might just take more money to go play somewhere else, which
I mean, why not?
do it. Like
I don't blame him at all.
go get
You know,
go get that go get that bank.
couple really good players from the Avs last year did the same thing. You know, guy Nazem Kadri, he was a kind of middle, like average hockey player throughout his entire career. Had a phenomenal season the year that the Avs won the Stanley Cup and went and got a bag somewhere. I don't
Don't
blame
even
him at
know
all.
where. Somewhere.
No idea where. Calgary. It was somewhere in Canada. Calgary, Toronto, Vancouver. I don't know, but he got paid.
Montreal, who knows? One of those Canadian ones.
One of those guys up there, up yonder. Russell Westbrook's a free agent.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a curse. Great player, but a curse.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw this out there for next year, just so I can say that I said it first. I think the Kings are gonna be a very, very good team to come out of the West next year.
I think they're going to be. I agree. I think they're going to be an extremely competitive team all year.
They're gonna light the damn beam, which has got to be one of the coolest things. Like when they win, just that beam. I mean, they just happen to run into a very, very seasoned Warriors team, and then had
Gabe Vincent's a free agent.
yeah. I don't know that he'll be back.
He didn't make shit for money last year or ever.
He's undrafted. That's another thing about the Heat. He had like 9 undrafted players that were getting very important minutes in
Right.
the playoffs.
Max
Which
Strus.
that's I hope Strus stays. But he kind of disappeared in the finals.
There's a lot of just random ass dudes in this list. Like random, like just secret, like sneakily, just solid players.
You're not wrong.
Kobe White, solid shooting guard from Chicago.
Well, this is terrible podcasting.
Right.
So
Just
I think we're out
listing names off.
of things to say. So since Joe's not here, we should let Joe do the.
Oh yeah.